Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei. It is the grand finals, and Taipei Assassins are currently 2-0 up. We're going to get straight into the pick and bans because they are already underway, and we have seen adjustments. It has happened. It is Zed, Azir, Aurelia ban for the Taipei Assassins, but more importantly, the Janna, Sivir, and Ezreal ban from Yo-Yo Flash Wolves. Finally, they've adapted.
Finally. And now we have the first pick from TPA, Lissandra, being actually a really good first pick, but I'm not entirely sure if the right first pick, because we have Vel'Koz open, we have Gnar open. I mean, Vel'Koz, sorry, Rek'Sai open.
I was going to say.
Wait, with Vel'Koz open, what are they doing, man? What are they doing? Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure about that first pick. Then you have the Kassadin Corki, maybe too much AP damage, actually. Maybe too much AP damage, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, we have already locked in a lot of AP damage here, so... Yeah. I'm not sure how this match will go because, okay, Flash Wolves opting to go to the Morgana again, which I'm not really sure if that's the right thing, but they have a game plan for this tournament, so they will stick to it, and we probably will see a Xerath coming out of them.
The game plan is just Morgana, right?
It's just Morgana, and just lock it in.
I mean, on the other hand, you have Gnar, actually. Gnar is actually really good against that much AP damage. You can build a Hex Drinker, yeah? You're actually really strong. And then when you're tanky enough and you get the upgrade of Hex Drinker, you do a lot of damage. It's actually ridiculous because you have a lot of HP pool, and because of the percentage of HP, you get a lot of damage thanks to that. Caitlyn. Okay.
Okay.
I'm actually shocked by the... No one uses Graves. Graves has been so good and popular, and they don't really like it here, but... It should be used because Graves against double AP compositions, he can just snipe someone from the back, and it's very, very good for that purpose. And even if he's got close range combat, like he is very tanky. He's like the tankiest AD carry because of his passive. But yeah.
Of course, like Graves is actually good against Lucian and Corki, both of them. So knowing that Sivir is banned, which Sivir is actually pretty much the only corner in lane to Graves, I would actually have one for Graves. I think Caitlyn is not that great of a pick. He is actually very situational. You know, you then see Forgiven destroying everyone with Caitlyn, but normally not everyone is Forgiven. I don't know how he pulls it out, to be honest. But Caitlyn is, not that great in comparison with others right now.
So yeah, what we have here is right now we have a Lissandra, Corki, Kassadin and Jarvan. All are very, very mobile.
AP as well.
So we have a lot of assassination, and that's usually how you work around.
Well, that's good. That's good. I like that, actually. I like that a lot. I like this pick a lot because this is giving you automatically the late game, just by default. Of course, if it comes to late game, they will have way too much AD damage, but Jace automatically gives you the late game. That hero is really broken late game. And having Morgana on board will sort of stop the Annie's stun on Jace, and if Jace can attack these squishy targets, they're dead.
It fits really well with the fact that they've got the Rek'Sai and Gnar, so they can actually siege down turrets right now with the Caitlyn alongside him, so they can keep
Caitlyn, of course. It makes a lot of sense. Really good, yeah.
What's really good is here, Lissandra and Kassadin both are flex picks, so they can both play top lane and mid lane. And by picking the Jace, you make sure that no matter where Kassadin goes, he has a bad matchup. So that's very important to know, that both of these champions actually counter Kassadin very hard in lane. And I'm surprised that not a lot of teams are doing that. When an enemy picks Kassadin like that, and they try to flex pick it, you just pick two counter picks like this, and I really like the Jace here, yeah. I'm a very big fan of it.
Yeah, on the other hand, Jace is actually really risky for top lane. Like, we've seen Darien dying 14 times a game.
Darien, man.
That's true, actually. That's true. It's a bad example, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was literally the worst example you could have thought.
Yeah. The quarterfinals and semi-finals. This is the grand final. It's a best of 5. And the Taipei Assassins, well, are 2-0 up. But it seems that Yo Flash Wolves have finally adapted. Can they take the first game? The game's underway. Let's get into it, because starting things off, the Taipei Assassins, I'll quickly give you a roster rundown for the TPA. They're going to be playing on the blue side this time around. It is going to be Morning on Lissandra. Wins once again on Jarvan. Has played a magnificent tournament so far on this Jarvan. Chowie, he's on Kassadin in the mid lane. Lupin, he's finally off Sivir, because that has been a real thorn in the side of Yo Flash Wolves. He's on Corki this time around, and Jay is on Annie once again.
On Annie once again. Let's see how it works. I like the overall setup, but it's maybe too much AP. You know, it maybe could have worked actually if the Yo's Wolves top laner wouldn't have been that tanky. I mean, at the end it's Gnar, you know? It's hard to deal with when you have that much AP damage. But let's see how it works. If TPA wins the early game, they have disgusting champions when they're ahead.
Well, let's go through the Yo Flash Wolves. Stake once again. He's on this tank. He's on Gnar. It's a champion that's worked very well through him throughout this tournament. Karsa once again on Rek'Sai. It's a champion that didn't quite work out so successful for him in the last matchup. Maple, he's on Jace. That's a champion that he played, I think it was against AHQ in the league the other week. And actually didn't play this time around. I distinctly remember talking about why did Maple not go to Jace. It's a champion he does know. So NL, he's gone with the Caitlyn. Gonna see how this one works out. We just talked about how Unforgiven, not Unforgiven,
Unforgiven?
Forgiven. I was
Unforgiven.
thinking of Unlimited. Unlimited, it used to be alongside him. It was the combo, but Forgiven has been playing it. But Sword Art, well, he seems to just be really quite excited about Morgana because they absolutely lock it in. And again, it was the third pick for them. So let's see if it works out for them.
Yeah, they have quite an okay setup actually, with the long range from Jace, Caitlyn, plus the Morgana binding. Honestly, it really depends on the early game, like many games actually, but this game especially, because unless they get ahead, unless TPA gets ahead, they will have a problem.
Well, traditionally they have been ahead.
Yes, that's correct.
In early game, so I don't know. I mean, if we're going off statistics, then that may just happen, but no, here with Flash Wolves came close in that second game. We'll see what they can do here in game number 3. See that Chowick versus Maple in the mid lane. Bit of a difference down in the bottom lane.
Are we going to see it?
No, we are not going to see it. That doesn't matter, guys. Nothing is going on.
We can see Morning Flash in red pips. He got caught by a dark binding and almost killed instantly the moment he came to lane. He actually got to lane a lot quicker than Stake did, who you can see is still going with that buddy system with Karsa. But yeah, he's already forced to go back and using the teleport to get back in that bottom lane. Let's hope he doesn't get caught by Sword Art a second time around. He has got Jay with him this time.
Yep, Annie coming through. Actually, was trying to sneak into the brush, but he's going to get hit by a Dark Binding there. The Piltover Peacemaker will join it as well, and a lot of damage straight away.
Do you just think with Caitlyn not being... Oh, hello. Karsa and Stake. This is going to be a 4-man dive. We're going back to season 2.
It may work, It may work, because they're level... Oh, it may work, actually. Oh, he didn't hit the Q.
Yeah, Sword Art's tanking the turret too much there. And now he's forced to back away. What I was saying is the Dark Binding and the Caitlyn Piltover, you know, that combo, it's almost a forgotten about one. They're still going to go for it nonetheless. Oh, what a great Dark Binding. Good, catching Morning out. Beautifully done. That will be first blood. Jay also in trouble. We're going to see Karsa tanking this one out. And completely missing the Piltover. Jay does manage to pick himself up a kill, but that will be a double for NL, the AD carry in the bot lane.
That was actually really good. Like, if you see, they tanked a lot of tower shots. They did it very well. It was at some point I thought they will end up losing the game by that, but it ended up well. Maybe Gnar shouldn't have died, but
maybe they end up winning the game now because of that. I mean, NL starting off with a double kill, which means starting off basically now after 4 minutes with a pickaxe and boots on top of his Doran's blade, means that who's going to go into the lane against him now? Corki's got double CS because of all that action going on, or Lissandra is going to walk in there and just get poked down instantly.
Yeah, I mean, no. I believe Caitlyn is actually a good pick against Corki anyway. So now that she's 2-0, you know that as soon as they 2v2, they're going to have the upper hand in the lane.
And of course, despite that CS advantage, Sword Art's just going to use that Black Shield and block that one off. Despite that CS advantage, of course, it does mean NL is ahead in gold because obviously he got them 2 kills, first blood included in there. And across the board, everybody picking up all those assists. It has worked out very well for the OE Flash Wolves. But look at the top lane. Stake very deep, caught out here. In comes Wins. Should be able to hop, skip, and a jump away from this one. Stun locked up nicely, and Looping gets a kill of his own.
Yeah, that's a very needed kill for TPA. Without that kill, Corki would have got a lot of trouble when he faces Caitlyn, but now he's sort of even, actually. He's going to be sort of even.
Like the fact that Yoi doing a bit of invading as well will take away that Raptor camp, knowing that Jarvan is up on the top side of the map. Maple actually going aggressive here. Needs to be careful. Windsor's coming in. Sword Art from the back. Maple's actually going to get off to the side. The teleport from Stake as well. It's all very messy, but I think Chowie is going to go down. Karsa will be able to lock him up with the knock-up, and that is another kill going back this time in favor of the Yoi Flash Wolves.
Well, I think they've got something to prove in this one, the Yoi Flash Wolves. They're not very happy about going 2-0 down so easily, effectively, to the Type A Assassins, and they Absolutely don't want to go out a 3-0. So, a couple of kills being picked up by them. They're still moving as this one solid unit very early on in the game.
This way of playing reminds me of the Koreans. Like I was speaking with Dexter yesterday. He pointed this out, and he's actually very right. The way that the fact that they train against Korean teams, you can see it right here. There's a little fight, level 2, level 3, level 4, doesn't matter. They will all appear, you know. They will all show up except the AD carry.
Yeah, no boot sport for Sword Art yet. He's been going for the mobility so early on, but you can see he's used that sight zone, so they're going to try and get some vision advantage over the Taipei Assassins early on here. Jay and Wins once again making a visit to the top, but this time around Sword Art is not there because he's with his jungler off the side, Karsa. Oh, I tell you what, if he shows there, Karsa spotted him. They've got the pip, they've got the blippers, he's underground.
Minions,
they may actually try and take him out. He's already going to back away.
But the farm difference, though, man, this could be game-changing, actually.
29-5 there.
It's not
brutal.
That big a goal difference, though, because he got those 2 assists. It's actually only 200 goal difference at the moment, 300 goal difference. So it's not equating to too much. And Anar really will just build tanky, whereas Lissandra obviously needs those items. He did also start with a Crystalline Flask because he was in that 2v1 lane, which has kind of backfired because look at that. Doran's and Crystalline Flask, neither are going to go into anything, so that's effectively money wasted.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're totally right, actually. It's not that much of a difference. Now will always get the farm, now will always get tanky enough. And also Crystalline Flask is wasted money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when he was obviously he wasn't expecting a tower dive maybe that early on. Look at mid lane. Maple going to get caught out here. Will he be able to get away? In comes Karsa. Does get the knock up, but the stun from Jay was enough to hold him down. They may get it, make it a double here. Karsa's got to be careful he doesn't get picked off, and they will back away. TPA answering in kind with kills.
That's why you pick blasting one with Kassadin early. Sometimes it's good if you expect a lot of early pressure, a lot of early actions. Then blasting one is actually a really good thing.
It actually saved the bot lane as well. Sword Art was waiting in the tri-bush down the bottom for a long period of time. We're getting ready to come around the backside of Lupin, but instead obviously had to come up and try and help out in that mid lane.
He's smelling it.
Like a steak. He's like, nope, getting the hell out of here. And rightly so, because Wins and Jay were just off in the bush.
This actually gets in your head, these kind of actions.
This is good.
Yeah, this is nice from Yoi. They know that Jarvan's top side, and they are just going to go straight in, and they cannot even see that this one is going down. So, first dragon of the game, going to go over to the Yoi Flash Wolves, and that is a nice little pickup for them. We'll see how this one all develops. You see there, Maple going to get himself that Brutalizer soon enough, already stacking up that tier as he goes. For Chowie, you mentioned blasting one first, especially since he doesn't really need that sustain coming out of the Catalyst when you've got the flask in there anyway. Like,
no, yeah, he should have needed if Jace would have been playing on his best, to be fair, because Jace should be painful against Kassadin, you know. I think
gotta land you shock blasts.
Yeah, well,
or auto attacks. I mean, if the farms, for me, if the farm is even there, then Jace has not been harassing him enough.
Exactly. You need to be extremely aggressive when it comes into these 1v1s. There are some 1v1s you have to play defensive, such as anything with Xerath, for example. But in this situation, with just one to win the lane, you're against Kassadin, man. You should at least get this +10 creeps, at least, you know.
Well, of course, has been a lot of ganks, so maybe that's been distracting him at the moment. Dragon is picked up, though, don't forget, by the Yoi Flash Wall, so they are one dragon up, despite the fact the gold is even, the kills are even, the towers are even. Across the board, they do effectively have that advantage with the 6% AD and AP that buff will give them.
Every game has a strategy, okay? Every setup has a different strategy. The strategy for the Wolves in this game is obviously push towers. Look at this. Look at the setup overall, right? So they have to manage. They have to find a way of getting the bottom tower. So then Caitlyn can go mid and get the mid tower. So then they can go top and get the top tower. You know, they have to move as 3 men actually and try to get as many towers as possible early, because otherwise they're gonna get outscaled. Maybe not outscaled, but out teamfight. Yeah.
Just like in previous games, Taipei Assassins starting to get the wards down on that second blue buff spawn. We do see that Maple is about to go across it. Rek'Sai starting it off. I think Wins is actually going to let them have it. They're still teetering around the edge of it. You can see also down the bottom, Annie is heading down towards that, although he
got it.
Just got caught by a thing. Yeah, and Karsa's actually been forced to pick that one up, so Jace didn't take it. Or, well...
Well, rather than force, I think he just took it, man. I mean, there's no force there, man. What is this? This has no excuse, Demon. No excuse. How many steals? How many? I mean, if I'm the mid laner, I don't keep playing the tournament. It's over. I go back home.
He's just like, I'm done. They keep taking my blue buff, man. This is unfair. Sword Art tries to get the Dark Binding on Lupin, whilst forced to back away. Remember, we are on 5.1. That Valkyrie is 100 mana now, I feel, on Lupin, so costing him quite a lot to back away. And, well, he's going to keep that farm ticking anyway. He's got built up the advantage.
It's just funny, man. It's just funny because you put yourself in Jay's situation, in Jay's brain right now. You just destroyed, man. 2-0 behind, no blue buff.
It's like, oh look, the lane's right in the middle. I can keep farm. Oh wait, I've got no mana left because I don't have that blue. So I'll just go back. Finishes off his Brutalizer at the same time, though. Bad. Wards are in there as well. So I suppose with Kassadin backing off, it's not really that much of an issue for him. Although Kassadin's going to come back into lane with
he only got
Rod
the
of Ages. No, he's already halfway up. Yeah, he only finished off the Catalyst there, so didn't quite have enough money for that one. We hear Rek'Sai screaming across the map as well. He'll be getting back underway on his jungle path, picking up a sight stone there. So should the Flash Wolves now be getting a little bit more vision down with those 2 sight stones?
Yeah, it's going to give him a lot of vision. Obviously, the side stones were picked up by Sword Art early on as well. But you can see Type A Assassins, they've got good vision in the jungle. Karsa will take away the wolves. Is Maple coming across the steamer? I wasn't sure.
I would have guessed one of them. Flash in, shock blast that thing.
He's like, screw you! But nevertheless, he's not going to steal them away.
If only you could exhaust your own teammate so that he can't steal it.
Or ignite, or kill.
Yeah,
just deny.
Yeah, just get rid of him.
The battle for the ping ward is real. Wins caught out with the Dark Binding, but Lupin and Jay are there, which will force...
Even though the goal is pretty even, I can see TPA being actually pretty ahead in terms of pressure. And in the next team fight, you can see it. Like Corki, as you just pointed out, Demon, Corki has the Trinity Force, while Caitlyn doesn't have the power spike yet. If they team fight right now, it's actually crucial.
Good work from NL. Went for the Avarice Blade, so knew that obviously he wasn't going to get there so quick. Of course, did go for that Rise Blade early on, so means the Infinity Edge will be a little bit delayed, but he will be getting it soon. Did get those 2 early kills on him, so that's kind of sped up the Caitlyn. You generally get that lull, don't you, in the mid game with the Caitlyn when you just need those items, and maybe that helped out early. Looking at this Sword Art and Karsa, they're waiting around. Are they going to go for something? Oh, Wins is going to get spotted. I think Karsa was just going back for the pink ward. Wasn't expecting Wins in there. It's in a hold's going to keep them below there. That's big damage. Teleport cancelled out there. Sword Art keeping Morning at base. So
this is huge, actually. This is huge.
With the Dragon up in 30 seconds, that is massive.
Yeah, I have to make a decision now. Try and keep him away with what they've got on that bottom side. Or does Morning walk down there at this point while the wave is really pushing against him there as well? I don't think that's what they're going to do. We can see Yowie actually moving up again into the enemy jungle. Both players there have got sight stones, so they can completely cover that one. Actually, they're going to come around the back of the tower here and try and finish that one off. There's only Jay hanging around, and he's not going to be able to do a whole lot.
They should get it. They should just risk and get it.
Yeah, they're going to take it. Rek'Sai is still nearby. Sword Art in trouble. Oh, get caught out by Jay. Tibbers pins him down, and now Karsa's in trouble. In comes Stake. Teleport slams in there. Takes down Chowie, the mid laner. And with the Dragon just spawning, this may well be advantage Yowie Wolves.
They could have very well get it. I mean, it's worth a try, right? The mid tower this early with a setup with Caitlyn plus.
They're holding off. You can see Stake. He's going to run to that top. They don't want to lose that top lane as well.
Good call. So Lupin just trying to get in position to actually knock him away. We'll see Karsa coming right back in to the mix as well, but look at that tower in the top lane. Morning just chunking that one down this entire time while Stake's been on his way back up to that top lane. Won't be able to finish it off here though, and we kind of go back to it, but they've brought out the teleport, which means neither of those two can now get involved.
Well, it did delay enough that the Man Immune could get picked up for Maple. We haven't quite got the Infinity Edge on NL this time around, though. Sword Art, is he going to try and catch someone with that binding? Fires off to Jay. Max range almost got onto him. Absolutely. Castle would have jumped straight for it. Yo-Yo Flash Wolves are in position to try and start this Dragon off. They don't have, of course, the top laner. Morning is backing away. If he goes, he's going to give his tower up to Stake, which is why he's had to stick around. Now, Karsa.
Please.
I think what happened, right, is he went with the Shock Blast, and it just didn't quite do enough damage, and I think Karsa accidentally took it. This time, now, Maple's got it.
Why is there always an excuse, man? Maybe he has took it.
Pressure of the finals. I've got a lot of them. I've got them stacked up. Yeah, I've had to cover for these junglers for a long time.
Well, what role do you play normally? Jungle, right?
No, actually normal mid lane.
What are you?
Mid lane, really? So it annoys me just as much as you, but yeah.
You're a Russian spy in the mid lane, actually. You're actually a hidden jungler.
They've seen that Dragon has been pulled out of the pit. That ward just around the corner. And, well, they can't do anything. They can do nothing about that one, and that will be the second Dragon then being picked up in easy fashion by the Yo-Yo Flash Wolves. They hold a nice little gold lead, plus those Dragon buffs.
Playing good, man.
And a 1-0 tower lead as well. That could well be 2-0. Yeah. I mean, there's a one-shot for pretty much anyone at this stage, is that tower.
They should just get it, man. This is more important than you can imagine. Their setup requires to get the tier 1 towers ASAP.
Well, they're going to clear out the wards, although Karsa went over it. He didn't even spot it. I mean, he got the buff on him, but didn't spot it out there, and actually that's may well cost them. It's, of course, certainly give position for Morning. He's going to get spotted. Shock Blast doing some serious damage already with that Man Immune and Brutalizer completed.
Should do a bit more. At this point, Jace should be the strongest in the game. He has these 3-4 minutes, 3-4-5 minutes. He should be the strongest in the game,
especially with the blue buff.
Yeah, okay, that's some more damage. Okay, that's because does he have? I don't understand why Annie took that much damage and Lissandra didn't. What is a fight? What is that?
It's Stake locked up by Lissandra. Yeah. That's quite impressive. I don't think I've ever seen that. But yeah, Narcourt's out, taken down. That is the mid turret going down though. So it was a kill traded for the mid turret. TPA maybe invested a little too much to get that single kill. They will get the top turret though. That's going to go their way. And that's the second turret of the game for TPA.
What's the right call right now? The right call is to divide Caitlyn and Jace, and for example, let Jace stay alone mid, and go 3 to 4 people around the top side and get the tier 1 tower top. And then you can open up the map. You can get wards in their jungle. You have a lot of range. You can poke up, and you can start aiming for those tier 2 towers. This setup requires those kind of moves, and it requires it now because later on it's gonna be too late.
Well, let's see. For now, it's going to be about buying up whatever they can, which will be Pickaxe, puts Lucidity for Jace. Caitlyn also got that Infinity Edge on the last return home, so going to be a Shiv coming in next of all. Meanwhile, Chowie just trying to freeze this lane down the bottom, stop that one from pushing away.
This is the problem. Kassadin is going to start to be looking for solo XP in the side lanes. They really need to group up as soon as possible. Really. Also, Jace is about to end his last Whisper. That's like the best point in the game for him during 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And he has to use it. Go together as 5 and use it. They can win the game by that right now.
Well, the top tower is going to be picked up by the Yo-Yo Flash Wolves.
Exactly the call they needed to do. Exactly the call. Perfect.
Oh, they're backing away though. They're still so cautious. Don't trust themselves in the team fights maybe. I don't know. But now that NL's there, they will pin it down. That'll be the tower going down.
This is really good. There's no other way to play the setup.
They're gifting the bottom lane, though, I feel, to... Oh, no, he's going to back away. Looks like Chowie's not going to stick... Still pushing as a hiccup. Where did the hiccup come from? That one came out of the blue.
Well, we've hit 20-minute mark now, so Baron on the map. As Wynn's just spending a little bit of time to spoil Karsa's fun, get rid of his tunnel system. Chowie is pushed up on that tower now.
They're collapsing.
If you look at the minimap, yeah, he may just get caught out in this scenario. Maple gonna come charging down the river as well. Who else is there? Morgan. Oh, well,
he ate it.
That is literally the worst thing that could probably happen to you there. But
oh, they stopped? This is not smart.
Well, I think they were just,
for sure.
I think they were scared of losing the mid lane, and NL maybe took a bit of damage from Lupin. Yeah, maybe took a rocket there, which is why they're coming back around, and they're going to try and go for Lupin instead. Just slam out the wave, force him back, and well...
Yeah, they made the right call. I'm just too greedy. My eyes were red, full of anger towards Kassadin.
Is this something that used to happen a lot in the game?
yeah, no. I tell you, like I make a lot of actually good calls, but I make a lot of bad calls, and the bad calls are mostly these ones, where we chase and lost towers.
They're going for it. They're around the side.
Sword
Art, is he going to catch him with the Dark Binding? That's the question. Ward goes down, though, from Taipei Assassins. This tower may well fall. They are going to gift Morning the top turret, though. Now they're going to go for it. Jay gets caught out. He's going to get dropped. Nas not going to turn yet. Stakes a long way off from that one. They are surely. I'm going to have a peek towards that top turret. Morning is doing the damage to it. Stakes going to TP up there. That will keep it safe. And that is going to keep them at the tower advantage. 4-1 now for the Yowie Flash Wolves.
See how strong this setup is. 5, just pushing together. And when Morgana hits somebody, kill him. If Morgana doesn't hit, just push safely. Really, really good.
Well, we were talking about changes in item builds. Look at Kasa this time. Warmogs is picked up there because he's against a predominantly AP-heavy team. He's not going for that Randy and Zoman, which of course wins this time around, will have to build. He is technically building right, although he's building the exact same thing.
Well, we saw also NL went back, finished off that static shift thanks to the kill they got down bottom, plus the tower as well. Finally, we see TPA here trying to get some control back in their own jungle because they've just been pulled around with losing those towers. Now just that inner ring in the middle and the top lane to defend, but for now it's going to be all about the Dragon. This would be the third one of the game for the Yowie Flash Wolves. That's how you waste your gold.
No, they want to contest it. This is going to be the fight, guys. This is the most important moment of the game. The most important.
Sword Art took a lot of damage early on there. Oh, that shot blast. That may well just keep them away there. The AD carry and support both catching that one square on the jaw. Dark Binding on wins as well. That's going to keep him out of it. Dragon's gone down. In they go.
Yeah, and that is Nar just going to town on the Mia. We will see Lupin trying to get away. He will be finished off in the end, though, by Maple, who will get a double. Chowie will be able to escape to recall. Morning is just on the bottom side of the map, not even a part of that one. And the Yowie Flash Wolves going to walk straight up towards Baron. They get Dragon number 3. They're going to get the first Baron of the game. They're up in towers. Looking very, very good now.
While this is happening, though, Morning's actually doing a good job. The top tower went down. He may even get the bottom one. He's putting work on that. Baron picked up. So he's doing literally what TPA, all they could do. Not sure if he's going to get the tower, but he's certainly going to get a hell of a lot of damage on it.
Yeah, he's doing what he can, you know. He can do more than this. But you saw that was a flex point. That was the most important point of the game. And that shock blast, man, that literally decided the game. That little shock blast.
Not so little shock blast.
Yeah, actually it was
pretty
brutal.
meaty shock blast, pretty brutal one. And he's actually not far off completing the Manamune into Muramana, so once he gets that on there, it's going to have some serious damage. Chowie, meanwhile, chasing that Zhonya's Hourglass. Caught out heavily by NL there. That static shift getting that proc on him. Mount, look at NL. He's got that Quicksilver Sash also picked up, so even if he gets caught out by Morning, he should be able to escape. Or, obviously, Jay. We haven't seen too many Flash. Tibbers coming out because he hasn't got that Sivir speed up this time around.
This is huge. The way, you know, Jace is divided in 2 times, you know. The first half of the game where he's sort of like a caster and you use the shock blast and just do damage, even get the Q in melee form because people don't have enough damage. And then late game you just become an AD carry. And it's an AD carry with more damage than an AD carry. So to get to that point, you need to be even or ahead. And they're ahead, so they're in the perfect position to win this game.
And we talked about how much magic damage actually TPA had. You can see the Spirit Visages being built out here, or are they going to be Banshees? Depends, whatever. Doesn't matter. Baron buffed up, minions pushing down. That tower's going to drop. Nothing Taipei Assassin's going to do about this.
They're playing really, really good.
Pushing straight in, to be honest. TPA, they're pushed around. Thankfully for them, those gates are now in the game, which means they're closer to their own tower, but it's not going to matter. They're going to go down from now, and there's the flashing from Morgana, but will they be able to actually pick this one up? It's a little bit messy, but it is Maple that will get onto Annie. They already lost Jarvan before that. That's the inhibitor down with Baron. Will they go any further? No, they're actually going to play this the safe way.
Smart.
Head down towards bottom.
Yeah, no reason to risk too much there. They are just picking up kill after kill, though, and there seemingly is nothing that Taipei Assassins can do. Look at this, they're trying to set up another gank bush. Oh, not going to catch him this time around. Morning, really the only one. He's been very passive in this one because he's been split pushing all 3 games effectively, but this time around, he's just been off on his own. He's like, well, lost that fight. I'm off again, peacing out with Lissandra and trying to take the waves down. He's actually doing a good job at keeping maybe the wave pressure on towards Yo-Yo Flash Wolves, which is probably slowing them down more than they'd like right now. But that is about all. That's the only positive I can see for TPA at the moment.
Effectively is the best possible thing to do normally, but in this exact situation, you have to understand and see what you're good at and what you're bad at. If he doesn't have a good engage into them, they're going to lose the game. This is for sure.
Yeah.
So he should be, instead of farm, he should be looking for a side engage and try to get an engage on Caitlyn or, well, Jace, better Jace. And, oh, they have Quisi Visages already. So
Yeah.
Both AD carries have Quisi Visage. This is not good.
No, I'll get the damage, but they need to lock them up so the rest of the team can really finish them off there, which will be taken away. And we see the push in now on towards that inner tower, the final one left standing here for the Taipei Assassin. It's going to go down, no real problem. A few rockets from Corki coming out, but nothing that will scare the Yo-Yo Flash Wolves away from it.
Although you have these double Sonias already on Kassadin and Lissandra, this is their only way to win, actually. Get a good engage, bait a lot of spells into them, bait, as much as possible. And if Flash Wolves miss positions, they have a good chance of coming back.
Stakey's pushing the super minions up that mid while them shock blasts keep raining through. They have to catch either on Lupin.
She's
or
looking
Jay.
for it.
Yeah, he wants to get and run around that side. Flash is not available though for Jay, so gets instead takes a
He got
clump
the
of
book
house.
in the head, man.
Boot to the head. Chowie caught out. Oh, there's the Zhonya's, but does stop the Piltover. Stops a fair bit of damage, but look at Stake. He's just tanking the entire team around the side. He's going to hop, skip over that wall, and they will keep the pressure on that mid lane. Sorry, top lane. Nearly swore.
We knew what you meant. We knew what you meant.
And he got taught the hard way.
Yeah. I mean, I can't see how you...
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, it won't happen again.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Casa,
it's too late or too early.
Casa
You're missing the comeback
Yeah,
now.
he went diving in. The comeback is indeed maybe on here. Maple having to use that acceleration gate to get out of there. And well, Casa went deep. The rest of his team did not follow through. Oslos lost it. He's lost it. He's gone. You back with us?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was too bad. It was too bad. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize.
What I also, while we've got a little bit of a lull in the game, want to ask you why, of all days when it's actually snowing from the 3 days that you've been here, have you not got a scarf on, which is the only acceptable time when a man should wear a scarf?
I have a good reason. So it was, I think the scarf became me instead of me just wearing the scarf. I became a scarf itself. And I really don't want people to be like, also not a scarf. No. I want it just to be a compliment, A little compliment that I use every now and then. I'm not a scarfaler. I'm Carlos, and I use scarves sometimes.
Are you going to change your name to a symbol next? Or what?
So yeah, I love scarves though, and actually in summer I love them more.
We know. We've seen all the pictures. We got a lot of them. This could be the 4th dragon of the game for Yo-Yo Flash Wolves, but Taipei Assassins, they may try and challenge for this one. They could try and sneak in and get the smite down. They do not get it though. Yo-Yo Flash Wolves managed to get it. Stake does get the big now. He's going to transform just in time. Winds will go down. But the rest of TPA, they have to run.
Oh, can they get more? Actually, you'll use his Zhonya's there. They're pretty low at this point. He's going to put down his W there, but they're just being ripped to pieces. 4 dead. Jay's going to be trying to run. Flash binding. He will flash away from it. There's 20 seconds for Jarvan, 30 seconds for the other 3. They could actually just push through and win the game right here.
To be fair, props to them. Like, they did a great team fight right there. Like, 3 of them were like 10% HP. That was actually good enough.
Super minions on the tower along with the rest of Yo-Yo Flash Wolves. Nexus turret 1 goes down. Nexus turret 2 will fall. Jay gets hammered there by Maple. Jumps on top of him. This will be game number 3 going the way of the Yo-Yo Flash Wolves. They're not out of this yet, ladies and gentlemen. They've picked up their first game of this best of 5. TPA finally are challenged.
Yeah, they played really good, man. It was actually a perfect game. These guys are good.
Look what it means to them there as well. You saw so very happy. And to lose this one 3-0 after losing the LMS game as well would be kind of like, can we actually beat these guys? Are we good enough to actually take down TPA? But this one shows that they were, and it's funny what happens when you change your bans after, you know, go for something a little bit different there, go against what's worked for TPA in the first 2 games and in the games before that even as well, and that will give a bit of renewed confidence, much needed renewed confidence, I think, as well for the Yowie Flash Wolves. Still a long way to go though. They have to win another 2 to win the game.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Dexter, you've rejoined us, of course, for this one. What do we take from it? Was it simply the pick and bans turning things around? I mean, they literally went for everything TPA had chosen.
They completely changed up their strategy going into this game. Before they were playing a very pick style, like pick composition with the Morgana, and actually they use it as a siege tool right now. And the Jace pick actually made all the difference here, because, like I said, I really like the pick Jace into Kassadin and then make sure that you just keep on going, because Kassadin needs time to ramp up. And the second you start grouping up, take all the towers, use that power spike, like Ocelot said. 20-minute mark, he has the Brutalizer, Last Whisper, and the Muramana.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when you can just hit on towers, take everything. But also we have to say that the dive at bot lane, the level 2 dive, actually contributed a lot to that game.
That was really good.
That was very, very good, and a lot, like, the whole game pretty much depended on that, how they got ahead of that, yeah.
Yeah, you could say that was a gamble. At the same time, they tried. You saw they were moving around the tower. You saw it was like either win or lose the game right there. It was actually so crucial, and they did it so well. You know, they could have, honestly, if 2 of them would have died instead, that game was over already.
Especially against, it was Lissandra and Annie.
Yeah, Lissandra and Annie, and they missed the binding actually of Morgana. So it was really tricky. When I saw they missed the binding and they were still hanging around, I was like, whoa, this is actually really risky. But they pulled it out very well, and probably they probably won the game by that.
Yeah, I mean, NL finished 7-0-5 by the end of that one. Like, a really, really solid performance by him. And you have to give, I mean, Sword Art, 13 out of 15 kills again. This is the kind of form that really pushed him throughout the quarterfinal games. We'll see though. I mean, another 2 games. Will Taipei Assassins say, you know what, get rid of Morgana?
I don't think so. I don't think
they will at one point today.
Sword Art stuck to his guns so far, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see Morgana in game number 4. But, well, what a great comeback. It's great to see we're not finally going to get a clean sweep, because we've had clean sweeps throughout the quarterfinals and semifinals, 2-0s all the way. This is a best of 5, remember. It's 2-1 currently to the Taipei Assassins. They were the Season 2 World Champions, but it's a very different team now. They seem to have very good teamwork, but can Yowie Flash Wolves push them all the way? It is the Intel Extreme Masters Taipei. We'll be back with Game 4 coming shortly.